Hello, and welcome back to Eclipse RP. So today, I wanted to just give you guys kind of a quick overview of the best ways to run drugs as a solo player. Now in this video, I don't want to give out too much, as in like the locations and stuff, 'cause that's supposed to be something you find in game. It's supposed to add to kind of how hard it is to find in game, to add to kind of the reward of how much it does pay out. 'Cause it does pay out quite a lot if you do it the right way. But I just want to give you guys kind of a general overview of the best ways to do it and the most efficient ways. So starting off with the vehicle, I don't really recommend having a car. I definitely recommend having a motorcycle. You can have kind of a bigger vehicle if you're running drugs with a group of people, but if you're just running them alone, I definitely recommend just buying a cheap motorcycle or something. This is the PCJ, and I think you can get it for, I think, 16,400 from Heavy Flow, if I have that right. So I definitely recommend picking this up or a different motorcycle to drive, because the drugs actually do not weigh anything. They all just weigh, like any stack of it will weigh at the max 1 volume, and you don't really have to worry about that, especially on a motorcycle, because you're not going to be carrying too many of them. Now the plants do take up space, but with this method we don't really have to worry about that. I will talk a little bit about the group method, because it's a lot more efficient, but again, it takes a lot more people to do, and you have to also split the money that way. Now, a big first tip I recommend is to go on the server when it's pretty much dead. Right now, probably not the best time to do this, but this is not going to be me actually doing it. It's just going to show you guys what you're supposed to do. So it doesn't really matter how many people are on right now, but I do recommend getting on around, if you want to do this like for a prolonged amount of time, around I'd say 2 or I'd say probably 1 to 5 a.m. EST. Depending on where your time zone is, it might be easier for you than other people, but that's probably around the best time you're going to want to do this, especially if you're running them solo. So first of all, we're going to go to the first location. Before going there though, I recommend, again, a motorcycle. I recommend to bring some food and water with you, just in case. Make sure your tank is full, and then also I would recommend bringing a gun. And if you don't have a gun license, it's pretty easy. If you see a gang, start talking to them, see if you can buy a pistol or two from them. It shouldn't be too hard to get a gun. Again, try not to get caught with it, because you can get jailed again if you don't have a license and you're carrying one. But as long as you don't do anything stupid, you should be fine. So what we're going to go do is head to one of the first drug locations. Again, I'm just not going to show it exactly where it is. You might be able to find out from the location when we get there, but just because it's something you're supposed to be able to find in-game, and it is kind of rewarding when you find it or figure it out for players, because it does make you a lot of money in the long run. So I'm going to go ahead to one of the first locations and show you guys the basic strategy for running them solo. Again, it's a lot different with a group. I might make a video on that in the future, but with a group you can kind of stay there and farm for a long time. But as a solo player, we're going to try and get in and out as fast as we can. Pick what we can, and then cook what we can, and just leave immediately. Don't even try and wait for stuff to grow back. Also, there's a thunderstorm outside, so if you hear thunder, that's what that is. Sorry about that. I'm not sure if they'll pick up on the mic, but we're going to start heading there, and I will see you guys when we get there. Alright, so we just got to one of the first locations. Now when you're coming down, you really want to check, make sure there's no motorcycles hidden or anything. Make sure there's no one hiding. This goes for all the spots. Again, I'm just going to use one spot today, but just drive around a little bit, make sure there's no one hiding any vehicles anywhere. Make sure no one's probably going to be here. And then there's 2 ways. Also check if, yeah, so this one's been destroyed, so we can't cook here. But if you can't cook, another thing to do is just grab any plants that are already growing. And again, I recommend parking somewhere where you can see coming in. Now, what's really nice about this spot is that most people only come in from that main entrance. You may occasionally get some people coming in from up there, but it's pretty rare at this spot. It's going to be pretty much it. We're just going to go pick up any plants that are fully grown so we can use them at our next spot. So if you ever go to a spot and there is no of the cooking supplies in there, because they can get destroyed either by players or raided by cops, I recommend just picking up any plants that are there as well while you're there anyways. Just might as well do it. And then just heading out immediately. Yep, so there wasn't much here. There's a guy here, so we're just going to head out. Don't even want to deal with him. Not really worth it. Doesn't even have a gun, so we should be fine anyways. We could rob him, but I'm not that kind of player. I usually don't rob people unless they've messed with me in the past. But we're going to go head over to another location that hopefully has cooking supplies, and I can show you kind of the rest. I don't know what this guy's doing. What's up, man?
This drug lab already busted.
Yeah, I got busted.
Oh my god. Do you know how, do they ever come back? Or is it like a long time to come back?
Yeah, it takes a bit. Do you know any locations, man, that aren't raided yet?
Is the Cannibal Village raided? I think it was.
Alright, man. I'll see you around, man. Good luck finding one.
Yeah. Okay, sounds good.
Alright, so we're gonna go. He was saying that one of the locations might have been raided, or haven't been raided. But we're gonna go look to a couple more. If we can't find one, I'll just show you guys how to do it without the supplies there. It's pretty much the same with any location. It's a little bit easier and a little bit better if I would actually show you how you do it. But if we can't find any that aren't rated, I'll just come back here and show you guys the basic strategy, because it'd be a lot easier here as well because there's no one to bother us. But we'll cut back soon, and hopefully we can find one that isn't taken over by a gang or has been busted yet. So I will cut you back soon. Alright, just got to another location. Looks like this one was rated as well. But I think we're just going to do the video here because I don't want this video to take way too long. And I kind of just want this one to be... Oh, here's the same guy from before. Yeah, it looks like he's heading out. But again, for the cooking stuff, it's pretty straightforward. You do have to figure out some of the recipes. I don't want to give all of those away. But what you do is just take any of the plants and then take the ingredients from the shelves. And then there should be a cooking table there. And you have to mix and match different plants or different chemicals with the plants to try and figure out which drugs they create. And then once you have that, you can just click on them when you have all of it and all the ingredients, and it'll auto-craft it, so it becomes a lot easier. But again, any location you go to that doesn't have a lab, I recommend just grabbing the plants no matter what, because there's going to be a lot less risk of someone coming up on you, because most people will check their lab and just leave immediately. But I recommend just grabbing any plants you can for the future as well. And so the basic strategy when you come to any of the drug ones, doesn't matter really which one, is first of all, make sure when no one's there. I didn't look around too much just because if there's a lab here, then there's some plants growing, there's usually no one there. But definitely find an exit route. So you can do this one of two ways. The first way is just literally keeping your vehicle right up front, because it will deter most solo players from stopping by. Any gangs that see this will just come and probably rob you though, so you might not want to do that if the server has a high population. But right now, it's pretty high, and there's no met lab here, so we don't have to really worry about too many people coming. But what I like to do is park it so people can't see it, so they're not really looking for a play or anything. I like to park mine either back here or behind this tree over here. Both ways are alright. You just don't want people to be able to see where you leave. And then if you do plan on leaving, so I like having an exit route planned out. So sometimes I'll go up that mountain, and if I'm going to do so, I pre-break the fences, so I don't have to deal with that when I'm leaving, just in case any bugs happen and my character falls off. So I usually pre-break the fences and then go, park, make sure the headlights are off. I think we have another person coming. But park, make sure the headlights are off, make sure you can just get out, get on the vehicle, and leave as fast as you can. That's going to be pretty much it. Again, this goes for pretty much all of the drug locations, the basic strategy of doing it as a solo player. Now again, if you want to do it into groups, I recommend definitely finding one that obviously has a lab working, and then picking up plants and then turning them into seeds, which you can get 1 to 3 seeds per plant, replanting them and just getting like literally 50 or rows and rows of the plants here until you have enough that you want, and then you can obviously harvest them all. But this is only kind of available or useful if you have a big group. If you're doing solo, like I'm trying to make this video about, definitely go with this strategy. Just come, pick the plants, cook them up, and leave immediately. Go sell them immediately. Don't try and go to another lab and make more. If you have extra plants, don't even worry about it. Just go sell your stuff you make immediately, because it's not really worth the risk of going to another lab to try and cook the rest of your stuff up. That's going to be pretty much it. I think what we're gonna do is go to one of the drop-off locations and show you guys what I do there, because it's pretty simple, it's pretty straightforward, but just to give you guys a general thought about how to do it the best way to probably not get robbed, because some gangs do, or some solo players as well, hang out at some of the drop-off locations and try and rob people as they drop off their stuff. So I'm gonna go to one real quick and show you guys basically how to drop it off the safest way possible. Make sure you don't get robbed while you're doing it, because that's going to be all of your profit lost in a couple seconds if that happens. So we're going to go head over to one of the drop off locations, and I will see you guys very soon. Alright, so we just about arrived at one of the first drug locations, or the drug drop off point locations. Again, I really don't want to give all of them away, just because some of you to find in game. But again, when you're coming to one of these, recommend just slowly driving in, driving out, and then quickly driving around the whole area, because some people like to hide like right in there, and like to hide over here, because even though it's a little cheap, they like to hide kind of like in spaces like this where they can kind of see over the wall. Again, it's kind of a little bit cheap, kind of a little annoying, but some people do it, so you just gotta watch out for that. Just drive around the whole area. It only takes a couple seconds and it can save you a lot of money if you do have a lot of stuff to drop off. So again, then when you want to actually drop them off, just go into it, and instead of stopping here, which is what I used to do actually, getting off and running and dropping the stuff off, I recommend you can just stay on your vehicle. Oops, locked it a little too early there. You can just stay on your vehicle and drive up to it, go in your inventory, and then drop off whatever you need to. Of course, we can't really sell those right here, but I was just wanting to show you guys an example, so that's what you're going to want to do. And then immediately after you drop it off, get out of there as fast as you can and go to the closest ATM. So what I usually do is come out of here and then check on the map right there, and then boom, go drop my money off in there, so I don't have to worry about someone robbing me in the future, especially if you just dropped off a lot and made a lot of money. Just go right over, put your stuff in the ATM as fast as you can. Sorry about that. Again, my voice is a little hoarse today, I'm not sure why. Go over, drop your stuff off, and then you can head up and basically do it again. So that's going to be about pretty much it for this video. I wanted this to be kind of just a really short guide to starting off drug running as a solo player. That's going to be pretty much it. Again, the basic things you want to have is some food, some water, just in case. Make sure your vehicle's pretty filled up. Again, mine wasn't super filled up because I knew I wouldn't be staying there for long. But the reason you want it to be filled up is that if you do get into a chase, it might last for a while, especially if it's with more than one gang or more than one gang member. Usually they don't chase you too long, especially if you're on a motorcycle. You can escape pretty easily. I recommend having a gun. Again, I just have the whoops, I want to turn that on. I just have a combat pistol, pretty simple one. Didn't really have to spend too much on it. I think it was like 4K or something, 3 or 4K. But it's gonna be pretty much it. Just remember to always look out for people coming. If someone does show up, don't even talk to them, just leave immediately, especially if you have already cooked some stuff up and have some stuff on you, because they will rob you. Most gangs, if they roll up with more than 1 or 2 people, will rob you immediately as well. Some of them will say, hey, we just want to talk, and then they'll get out and rob you. So again, just don't even listen to anyone, don't talk to anyone at the locations. If someone comes, just head out immediately. Sometimes, if it is a solo player and it looks like they're a new player or not part of a gang or anything, you can talk to them. Usually most of them are pretty friendly, but if they do have a gun, don't even risk it, just leave immediately. Don't want to risk losing any of the money or any of the time you spent. So it's gonna be pretty much it. If you enjoyed, leave a like and sub, and I'll see you in the next one.